Hello, welcome to the Pin Man. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Sheaffer 100 fountain pen. So let's get started. All right, here's a tour of the Sheaffer 100 fountain pen. Now the fountain pen came to me in this what they call a blister pack, and just one of these hang on the retail excuse me, hang on the retail pegs at your store and sell it that way. Anyway, I got this pen basically as a kind of a special deal, and I'm not supposed to necessarily promote it, but anyway, as far as how I got the deal. But the retail price of the Sheaffer 100 from Pen Boutique is $35, but you can find it a little more inexpensive on eBay. I saw one for $19.50. Excuse me. This time of year is starting to get a little bit of allergies, so if I sound a little nasally, that's that's why. Okay, and then there's another website that I just came to learn about. It's called pensavings.com. Anyway, they have this white one on for about $14. So there are a variety of colors for this pen. Black, I think there's a blue one, maybe a red one. So it all depends on what's available, I guess. All right, parts of the pen. First of all, you have the finial, the cap finial there. It's nothing real fancy. Let's see, get up here a little bit. Just, you know, this pen is it's just a subtle pen. It's nothing, again, nothing real fancy. So you almost have this, what do you call them? Shriners caps. All it needs is a little tassel. But yeah, it's kind of flat on top. It tapers from the base up to the top slightly. The finish on most of the cap is what's called a brushed chrome. All the appointments are chrome, and then the body is a white lacquer. The end finial is the same as the cap finial, and then of course the body is pretty much straight all the way down until it tapers off at the end. The clip on the pen is has the Sheaffer dot, and then there's their little cutout there. It has a rounded clip, pretty traditional, or rounded end of the clip there, I should say, and it's just a stamped type of clip. It is not a spring-loaded clip. It's just kind of clamped in there internally. So it's, you know, again, it's nothing extraordinary. It is a very firm clip, and it does hold nicely. The band on there says Sheaffer in 3 different places, but it doesn't have 100 on there anywhere, so there's no place where it designates the style of the pen. All right, take it apart, and then you have the chrome section, or the metal section. It can be slippery, so that could be a deal breaker for a lot of for you maybe. But and then the cap, or the nib is your typical Sheaffer nib there. It's very stubby, I guess you could call it. And then there's your feed. Yeah, it's kind of a short, stubby. It's probably a number 5 size nib as far as the width of it, but the length is probably more like a number number 4. Okay, so it has the Sheaffer and some scroll work there, and then the medium. One of the benefits of the lacquer body is if you choke up on the pen a little bit, you really don't, at least some, it's where here my thumb covers is kind of half on the body, half on the grip. It gives you a little more grip, even though the grip, saying grip a lot, even though the metal grip section is slippery. So if you like to choke up, then it's going to be kind of slippery. There is on the grip, it does kind of widen out toward the nib, so you wouldn't go slipping off there. But yeah, so the lacquer body gives you some grip there, and then as it rests on your hand too, that keeps it from sliding. Now, because it's a short nib, you will be writing at a slightly higher angle than if you would a longer nib, larger nib, but that's just the nature of that. The cap it's a snap cap, and it does snap smoothly. It snaps securely. It's not hard. You can get it off with one hand, but it sits on there good, so no problems there. The pen does post. It posts securely, no problems. It feels comfortable. The transition between the body and the cap really isn't uncomfortable, I guess you could say. It's it's not bad at all. It is, because it's all metal. Of course, it is going to be a little back weighted, but yeah, I wrote with this posted for a little while, and it wasn't my preference, but it really wasn't too bad. This is a cartridge converter pen. However, the cartridges and converters are proprietary. They are Sheaffer design there. And again, it's all metals, probably chrome-plated brass is my guess, is typically, and then a lacquered finish on the brass. And that looks like a pretty, decent finish there. So, or thickness of it seems to be pretty decent there. Okay. Alrighty, why don't we take a look at some size comparisons. Here are 3 Sheaffers, and you have the Intensity, and this of course is the 100, and this is the Cigari. And here they are uncapped and posted. And here it is next to the Lamy Safari, Lamy Studio, and the Pilot Metro. Here they are uncapped, and here they are posted. I could see a comparison coming up at some point with the Pilot Metro. And how about a writing sample? We have the Sheaffer 100, and it's a medium nib. The ink, I'm going to call it, because I'm using the cartridge that came with it, so we'll call it the Sheaffer Black. Okay, no hard starts, no skips, very nice writer. Some wetness there, decently wet. I have found this to be a smooth nib. I mean, there's some little bit, some feedback that you obviously know is touching the page, but it's not bad at all. Let's see, reverse writing does well. and not too scratchy at all, actually. Let's see. Yeah, if you keep it right, keep it orientated properly, rotated, and right. Yeah, it writes real well. So there you have your extra fine, I would call it. Let's see. I'm not. Yeah. As far as line variation, let's not even go there. Especially being a short nib and a steel nib. Excuse me. You're not going to get any flex out of this. You'll mess up your nib more than any flex. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get this. Again, as I was writing with this pen, I did like it fine. This is a nice pen. I'll give it a smiley. It takes a lot for me to not give a pen a smiley, as you probably learned by now. This pen would work for, I could see it working for a lot of people. So there's your writing sample. Okay, let's sum up what my take on this Sheaffer 100 fountain pen. Before I get into the pros and cons of the pen, I do want to make a note that I'm not sure exactly when this all happened, but Sheaffer is now owned by an Indian company that apparently has been a distributor in that region of the world. But anyway, so now this company, let's see, what's the name of the company? It's called the William Penn, Penn company. It's a distributor, and it does other pens. I think it distributes the cross pens and so forth. But apparently, at least the information I read, looks like they now own all the rights to Sheaffer as far as the designs and distribution and all that. So this is now an Indian company. It'll be interesting to see how they take this company, the Sheaffer line forward. And so I look forward to that. All right, let me go through some of the cons first. And these really aren't bad issues regarding this pen. It's just more preference. The metal grip, I usually don't mind metal grips, but this one I feel a little bit more. However, as I mentioned in the tour of the pen, the lacquered body does give it a little bit of grip. Again, it's just a preference issue, and I can deal with that. With the chrome, the downside is, chrome can be a fingerprint magnet, and so you gotta be careful of that, especially on the grip. The nib size is short, and therefore the angle of writing is going to be increased. So again, that's not necessarily saying that this is bad, it's just preference. I'm not too crazy about the white lacquer finish, but that's what the deal was. Okay, so that's what I got, or what came to me, I should say. Just because it, any kind of, like I was just wiping off something, I'm not even sure what it was, but any kind of markings, it's really going to show up easy on the white lacquer. But this does come in other colors, so you might want to check that out. And again, the pensavings.com, they have these on for about $14, so you can get a good deal. Okay, some people are really into Sheaffers. I'd be interested if in the comments you would put down if you are a Sheaffer fan, number one, And number 2, why you are a Sheaffer fan. What is it that sets it apart from other pens that you really like? I'd be interested to know, and I'm sure other viewers would be interested as well. Okay, how about some pros? I do think the weight is nice. It's 28 grams total, so if you're posting, just 28. It's not bad at all. And unposted, it's 18 grams. So, like I said, I do like the weight. It's not too heavy. You could write for a long time with this pen, and I don't think it'll be a problem. So the weight is good. The nib is very smooth. I do like the nib. I have been writing with it for a little bit now, and I like it. Again, no skips, hard starts, and it is smooth. All right, so there you have it, the review of the Sheaffer 100 fountain pen. All right, thanks for watching. You have a good day.